गोपीजनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुना तीर वनचारी यमुना तीर वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुना तीर वनचारी यमुना तीर वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय प्रभुपदा 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 प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद श्री राधा माधव की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 84, the sages' teachings at Kurukṣetra. Verse 23. Nāyam vidanti ami bhū-pā ekārāmāś vṛṣṇayaḥ māyā-javanikācchannam ātmānam kālam īśvaram nāyam vidanti ami bhū-pā ekārāmāś vṛṣṇayaḥ māyā-javanikācchannam ātmānam kālam īśvaram nāyam vidanti ami bhū-pā ekārāmāś vṛṣṇayaḥ māyā-javanikācchannam ātmānam kālam īśvaram. Word-to-word meaning: na, not; yam, whom; vidanti, know; ami, this; bhū-pāḥ, kings; eka, together; ārāmāḥ, who enjoy; cha, and; vṛṣṇayaḥ, the Vṛṣṇis; māyā, of the divine power of illusion; javanikā, by the curtain; ācchannam, covered; ātmānam, the supreme soul; kālam, time; īśvaram, the supreme controller. Translation and purport by the followers of Śrīla Prabhupada. Translation: neither these kings nor even the Vṛṣṇis, who enjoy your intimate association, know you as the soul of all existence, the force of time and the supreme controller. For them you are covered by the curtain of Maya. Purport. Śrīla Viśvanātha Cakravartī explains that Lord Kṛṣṇa's family, the Vṛṣṇis, were too familiar with him to realize that he is the supreme soul, the Supersoul residing in the heart of every created being. And those kings at Kurukṣetra who were not devotees of Kṛṣṇa could not recognize him as time, the annihilator of everything. Devotees and non-devotees are both covered by Maya, but in different ways. For the materialist, Maya is illusion, but for the Vaishnavas, she acts as Yoga-māyā, the internal potency, who covers their awareness of the Supreme Lord's majesty and engages them in his eternal pleasure pastimes. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishākanvitamsha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine Namo Mahavadhanaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauravit Kruvitamaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So when Lord Kṛṣṇa was invited by Kamsa, his whole plan was to kill Lord Kṛṣṇa. He was trying since his birth, but failed multiple times. But now he sent his messenger Akrura, which the Vrindavanvasis call him Krura, the cruel one, to bring Krishna and Balram to Mathura so that he can kill them. So at the gate he arranged for a mad elephant who can crush them, but he was crushed, thrown away. And okay, that will not work. So inside he has made another plan, the wrestling arena. So it's mentioned in Bhagavatam that when Krishna with his brother Rangam Gatha Agrajaha, with his elder brother Balram, when he entered the arena, there were many people. The Vrajvasis were there, the cowherd men, the Mathuravasis, the kings, the wrestlers, and they all saw Krishna differently. It's mentioned that Malanam Asinaha, the wrestlers, they saw as Krishna as lightning bolt, very powerful. Nirnam Naravaraha, Mathura man, they saw him the best of the men. Stri Nam Smaraha Murti, women, they saw him as Cupid in person. Gopanam Swajanaha, cowherd man as their relative. Asatam Shiti Bhujam Shashta, the impious kings, that he is coming to punish them as the punisher. Sashta. Swapitro Shishu, the parents as child. Mrityu Bhojapatehe, the king of the Bhojas, saw him as death. Virat Avidusam, the unintelligent, saw him as the universal form, Lord's universal form. Tattvam Param Yoginam, the yogis as the absolute truth. Vṛṣṇinam Paradevata, for Vṛṣṇis he was the supreme worshipable deity. Iti viditaha, in this way they all saw Krishna differently. So it said that our consciousness determines our experience. It's all about our consciousness. And we here see so many people with different consciousness perceiving Krishna differently. So some was qualified to see Krishna as it is, some were not qualified to see Krishna. Śrīla Prabhupada, I think so, he gives one analogy. It's like there is a broke down car. When we are traveling on the highway, your car breaks down, and you come out of the car, open the front hood, and try to see something in the engine, what's happening. But you cannot understand, because you are not a mechanic. But when the qualified mechanic comes, when he opens the hood, he touches somewhere and the car starts. So we also see and the mechanic also sees. But both of them have a different understanding. One is qualified to see and one is not qualified to see. So in this verse we see that the kings who were non-devotees, they couldn't see Krishna. But what about these kings? Even the Vṛṣṇis, the sages are saying, they were not able to see Krishna as what? As ātmānam, the supreme soul, kālam, the eternal time, and īśvaram, the absolute truth. Both of them were not able to see Krishna. Both of them were in Maya. So what's the point of being a devotee if you are in Maya? Better be a non-devotee and be in Maya, right? But it's different. It acts differently, and this is what we are going to understand. So although the Vṛṣṇis, they had very intimate association, ekārāmāḥ ca vṛṣṇayaḥ, still they were not able to see Krishna. They were not able to see one part of Krishna. Why? Māyā-javanikā ācchannam. They were covered by the curtain of Maya, the divine power of illusion. Maya means what is not. So one is unable to see Krishna out of lust. They have so many desires. One is not able to see Krishna out of reverence, as it is, oh my reverential Lord. And one is not able to see Krishna out of love. It's mentioned that others, they love Krishna because he is God. Vrajvasis, they love God because he is Krishna. They are not aware, oh, he is the Param Satya and this and that. He is just Krishna, my child, my friend. And they treat him accordingly. And that's why they don't see the Aishwarya part. They're not bewildered by the Aishwarya part. They're just attracted to the sweet pastimes that the Lord performs. So this Vrajvasis, the Vrindavan people, they are very intimately connected. The intimacy is to another level compared to the Mathura Vasis, the Vṛṣṇis. Because their depth of love is very deep. It's not shallow, it's very deep. That's why they are connected to Krishna more intimately. And some can understand, some cannot understand. Once Krishna was sick in Dwarka, and they all know what is the reason, because he is missing Vrindavan. When he is sleeping, his wives, they complain. Sometimes he is calling out names of the girls, and they're all name of the gopis. Oh, where are you, where are you? And he always misses Krishna. So they arranged the architect of the heavenly kingdom to make the replica of Vrindavan. And they made Yashoda-māyā, and they made everything so that he always remembered Krishna. But when Krishna saw ocean, Dwarka is situated in the ocean, he forgot, hey, I'm in Dwarka, I'm not in Vrindavan. So he was very sick. Narad Muni arrived, he said, only one solution is there. He needs the mercy of the devotees. Which devotees? The devotees of Vrindavan. And Padmavati, the wife of Ugrasen, she started blabbering. Oh, why we should call them, why we should take their help. They tortured our Krishna. We are respecting him, taking care of him so nicely, but they tortured him. How? They sent him as a small boy for grazing the cows. Where? In the forest. Who sends a small child for grazing in the forest? Right? And they were keeping him hungry. Why she is saying that? That's why he was stealing. Mother and father is not feeding. That's why the son is stealing in everyone's house, butter everywhere. Bhuka rakhte hai, right? So she was not able to see that, and she was complaining. Why? Covered by Maya. So how one can know? Only by mercy of Krishna. Mat anugrahat. By causeless mercy of Krishna, you can know Krishna. There is no other way. You cannot achieve Krishna's darshan. Narad Muni, when he left the home, when his mother died, he started meditating, followed the process, and he got darshan of Krishna. And then he left. Krishna left all of a sudden. And he thought, again I'll do dhyan with more seriousness, and with this dhyan I'll be able to bring Krishna in my meditation. Krishna didn't come. And he said in the sound that, in this lifetime you can see me only once, which I've already saw. You do this process, and then you will be able to have association with me. So you cannot demand darshan of Krishna. Krishna wants, he can give you darshan, otherwise you cannot. So it's interesting that initially, during the creation, when Lord Brahma meditated and Krishna came in front of him, gave him darshan, he was blessed by Krishna. Tattva vijnanam astu te, that you will always be able to see me. Tattva vijnanam. In what sense? Bhava, rupa, guna, karma kaha. You will be able to see my eternal form, my transcendental existence, color, qualities and activities. Don't worry. This was the blessing given to Brahma by Lord Kṛṣṇa, and the same Brahma got bewildered in the Vrindavan pastime. When Krishna was performing his pastimes, Brahma thought, oh, he's an ordinary boy. Let me, through my mystic power, check his potency. So Krishna killed Aghasura, and many demigods were there, and Brahma also came, because he was hearing so many demons are getting killed. So what's happening? And he saw Aghasura got killed so easily. But he was astonished. But he was more astonished when he saw Krishna performing the lunch pastime with his friends. Like, they call him God. They're worshipping him. Everybody is saying he is God. But what he's doing here? Eating from another's mouth, eating from left hand, right hand. What is happening? This is not we worship Krishna, right? Vishnu. This is not the way. And then he thought, let me check him. And what he did, he planned to kidnap the calves and the boys, cowherd boys. And Krishna, as an expert actor, he made him believe that he didn't know what's happening. Krishna is Vishwavid. He knows everything what's happening in the universe. But in front of Balram, he was wondering, oh, where are my boys? Where are the cows? And was searching for them everywhere in perplexity. Because Krishna is an expert actor. He already knew what's happening. But to make him believe, to make Lord Brahma believe, he performed that. So here we see Brahma is also, what we say, bewildered. Śrīla Prabhupada says in the Purport there that even though Lord Brahma is Aja, unborn, like not born like ordinary people, he is Ambuja, he is born out of the lotus flower. But still he is born through the material energy. And once you have the touch of material energy, you automatically have the four deficiencies. Karanapatava, imperfect senses, pramada, illusion. Your tendency, you will be illusion. Then Brahma, you will be having the tendency to commit mistake, and vipralipsa, you will commit cheating. These four defects are automatically there. And this is what happened with Brahma. He was covered by illusion. But he thought, oh, I have cheated Krishna. He was very happy and he returned. So in this pastime, Lord Balram was not there, because it was his appearance day. It was his birthday. So they kept him for some ceremony back at home, and he was not present. And for 1 year, Krishna expanded himself personally into his boyfriends and calves, and he was personally performing the role, each of them. He was acting perfectly as cowherd boy. He was acting perfectly as a calf also. And nobody came to know. Nobody came to know. He acted so brilliantly. Even Balram was not aware until few days before the completion of 1 year. How he came to know? They were all in Govardhan hill, and the cows were grazing on the top, and they saw the calves which were the expansion of Krishna. And throughout the year they were so much into ecstasy by serving Krishna in the form of their calves. They had a lot of affection, and when they saw this Krishna's form in calf's form, they ran downwards and they left their cowherd men, and they were so angry they were coming behind to beat them. How are they misbehaving? To teach them a lesson. And they came down, and these cows were already older. The milking was already stopped for them. But when they saw them, they started milking them. The cows started milking these older cows, although they had younger calves. They were milking these cows, and he was astonished how this is happening. This is like not an ordinary scene. And the cowherd men, when they came down, they were supposed to beat the cows, like chastise them, not beat. When they saw the expansion of Krishna as cowherd boys, they embraced the boys, smelled their hairs, and were embracing. They all forgot their anger. And Balram understood that this is some potency which I am not able to understand. And nobody else can illusion me. Not demigod, not some witch. Only Krishna can do that. His potencies are so wonderful. So Krishna's energy, they work differently as per the purpose. So when they work in the material world, it's called Mahamaya. In the spiritual world, or for spiritual activities, it's called Yoga-māyā. Śrīla Prabhupada says that wherever Krishna is there, his energy is always there. And he gives the analogy of a king. In terms of place, he says that a king, he has many officers. Some officers are outside the government house and some are inside the government house. Both of them are acting for the service of the king. The king doesn't say, oh, I don't like the outside people, I like the inside people only. He never says that, because both are energy of Krishna and they are working for Krishna. That's why he said that Vishnu Shakti Para Prokta. All these energies, different energies, are spiritual. Although they act differently, you cannot tell it this is material or this is spiritual. Everything is spiritual because it's coming from Krishna. This is what we need to understand. But they are acting differently. Śrīla Prabhupada gives one more analogy that from the powerhouse, electricity is generated, electrical energy. And for air condition, same electrical energy. And for heaters, which will be coming in winters, same electrical energy. It works differently. So, Parasya Shaktir Vividhe, that his energies are multifarious. And that's why in Puranas also, sometimes it's mentioned that Durga is also called as Radharani. Sometimes. Why? Because it's the same energy. So how one can understand this, such deep topics, such deep things, how these energies are working, different purpose differently, how is one illusioned to forget Krishna and they are in Maya, how is one is not in Maya but still they don't know Krishna. So it's mentioned by submissiveness one can understand this. Srila Shukdev Goswami says to Parikshit Maharaj in Bhagavatam 10 canto that Shinusva Avitaha Rajan. O king, please hear with great attention. What? Api ghuyam vadamite. What I'm going to speak, which is the Vimohan Leela, which is the start of Vimohan Leela, this verse, that although these topics are very confidential, ordinary people cannot understand, but I will explain unto you. Why? Because Guruvaha Ghuyam Api Uta, spiritual masters can explain such spiritual topics, such confidential topics. And what is the reason? Bhruya snigdasya shishyasya. Because the disciple is submissive, he can understand these topics. So when we are submissive to Guru, we can understand. That's why tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. By your own so-called aristocratic birth or nice knowledge, education, you cannot understand Krishna. These are actually hurdles in our pursuit to know Krishna. Once there was one guy, very rich guy, very educated guy, he wanted to meet Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur to inquire some very Guyam topics which are difficult to understand. Ordinary people are not welcome in that. Only scholars can discuss such topics. Sometimes we see such scholarly questions are asked in the class. It's difficult to answer because what to do. So this was the whole mood of that guy, and he approached Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And when he entered, Maharaj already knew what's his whole purpose. And he said, wait, I'm busy in some work. What you can do, you can go with my assistance. He'll give you some small task, complete that, and then come back. And the guy thought, it will be like small task for a few minutes. And the servant, he took him to the DT kitchen. And we all know how many times our Lord eats and how much he eats. It's a huge quantum, so much, multiple times. And he said, wash these utensils. Huh? You know me from where I am, my education, about to do. Maharaj just said, okay, I will wash. Small utensils were there visible in front of him and was washing. As soon as it was complete, next lot came. You have to wash this also. Washing. And continuously the utensils were coming. Big, small, everything was coming and he was washing. From morning, it was evening time. And he was still washing. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was on his evening round trip in the campus. And he saw this guy. And he asked him, how are you doing? Yeah, I'm busy, my back is paining, but still I'm doing as a service. So now do you have any question? Oh, all my questions are answered, Maharaj. No questions now. Everything is answered. By service, everything is answered. So when we have the service mood, submissive mood, things are revealed. Divya Gyan Hridaya Prakashito. It's not like we achieve. Spiritual life is all about receiving. It's not about achieving. That we need to understand. Material education is all about teaching you about achievement. Oh, Follow nicely, you will get first initiation. Follow more nicely, you get second initiation. It's not about achieving, it's all about receiving. And when you have that mood, then you can maintain the vows of your initiation. Now it's so easy to say, oh, promise. What promise? How many rounds? Minimum 16 rounds. How many? Regularity principle? 4 regularity principles. Done, 2 minutes, done. But to follow throughout your life as it is, without cutting the corners, is it easy? I think it's not so easy without the mercy of Guru and Krishna. And how will you get mercy? When you are submissive, when you are dependent, not having this achieving mentality, then it's possible. And that's why Parikshit Maharaj was able to understand such Guhyam topics. And who are not able to understand? Mudha nabijanati mam e bhaya param avyayam. Mudhas, those are not surrendered, those are not dependent, independent, they are not able to understand. They are not able to understand spiritual topics, they are not able to understand spiritual instructions, nothing they can understand. Because they are mudha, they are acting independently. They think, kartaham iti manyate. And such people are vimudha. Ahankar vimudha. So that's why we need to take shelter. Otherwise we'll be bhir guna mair bhavir mohita, will be illusioned by Krishna and we will be away from Krishna. It's mentioned in Bhagavad Gita in Purport that sometimes some devotees, they think that they are performing devotional service, but they are not. They are illusioned. Why? Because they are not following the Shastra Vidhi. They are acting independently, but they think they are doing devotional service. You cannot do service unless you are acting under someone's authority, which is a sadhu, a spiritual person, Vaishnava. If we don't do that, how can you perform devotional service? Because service is given to you. You don't decide, oh, this is my service, this is my... Oh, it comes to you. You like it, you have to do it. You don't like it, still you have to do it. It's all about your mood, how you are doing it. If you are doing grudgingly, then you won't get a nice result. If you are doing nicely with the proper attitude, you will get superb results. It's all about your attitude. Śrīla Prabhu says in the Nectar of Instruction, the advancement of the follower will depend on the attitude of the follower. What's his attitude while receiving instruction, while receiving corrections, while receiving service, while receiving praises? What's his attitude? And if his attitude is that I am a eternal servant of Krishna and my mood is to serve Krishna, then he will be safe. Then he will be safe. And how to be safe? By chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he delivered the guy who was suffering from leprosy, he was so much tortured, right? And eventually he attracted mercy of Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu delivered from leprosy, and he was looking very beautiful. And then he said, oh, I am beautiful, now I will develop pride. If I have pride, then I will forget you. Mahaprabhu said to him, don't worry, you just keep chanting this Hare Krishna mantra, pride will never touch you. Maya won't attack you. And this is what we do when we pray to Krishna. Mam eva prapadyante. Taking shelter of Krishna means praying to Krishna. How? By chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Then we can expect deliverance. Because when you take shelter of Krishna by calling for Krishna's energy, then she will understand, Prabhupada says, that now this soul is correct. And then she gives facilities and she gives him freedom to act properly. He is not under any more in her clutches. He is free. Mam eva prapadante maya me tam tarantite. Then he can overcome. And then he is in different form of maya, which is Yoga-māyā. Mahatmanastu mam partha devim prakritim ashritaha. So it's all about taking shelter. Spiritual life, it's all about taking shelter. Taking shelter of beautiful darshan, taking shelter of beautiful Vaishnavas, beautiful temple, beautiful service. Everything is wonderful, Śrīla Prabhupada says. Everything is wonderful. From prasadam, everything is wonderful. Because Krishna consciousness is wonderful and Krishna is wonderful. That's why there's a book, Wonderful Kṛṣṇa, right? His pastimes are wonderful, mind-blowing, difficult to understand from a normal perspective. You need blessing, you need mercy to understand that. So when you are Devim Prakritim, you are safe. Just like government laws, they are different in a university, they are different in a prison house. So those who abide by the civil laws, they are protected. Those who don't abide, they take it to criminal activities, they are punished. So Maya is just doing her task, to rectify or to protect. It depends on our attitude. Do you want to exploit or do you want to serve? It's all about that. It's all about attitude that will matter. Do you want to lord it over? Oh, all these people are my servant because I'm their guru. Oh, all these people are for me because I'm this big position. Then you are trying to lord it over material nature. And then think you are benefiting these servants. You are well-wisher. It said now, the last net of Maya, to think that you are well-wisher of everyone. You are benefiting the person. No, you are just the mediator to give them the mercy. And we have to understand. Srila Prabhupada says, oh, all these disciples, they are my spiritual master. Because I am serving them. This is a mood that we need to develop. Service mode. Because this is our Swarupa. Jivera Swarupa Krishnara Nitya Das. And we will forget that. Because we are still in material energy, material form, material surrounding. When we go out, we see house acting wonderfully. When we are with Vaishnavas, we are protected as a herd. And Maya cannot touch it. But it's easy to be affected by Maya. That's why we need to take strong association of the devotees, and then we can expect deliverance, and then we can understand such vulnerable topics. Even the sages are saying that, oh, it's difficult to understand, but they are also not understanding who is standing in front of them. They're saying this is Vasudeva Krishna. Everybody is seeing Krishna differently. In the start, just like I mentioned, that when he entered the arena of wrestling in Mathura, everybody saw him differently. So this is what we need to work upon, our consciousness, because our consciousness will determine our experience. Okay, so thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. This is what I can speak about on this topic, rather than speculating and speaking other things and speaking big words, myself not able to follow. So if there are any comments on this point, on the class, or any questions, we can take. Please, any pastime we can share. We have a lot of time. Yes. Hare Krishna.
In the material world, the conditioned souls are under the jurisdiction of Maya, Devi, Mahamaya, and in the spiritual world, they are under the jurisdiction of Yoga-māyā. So both conditioned souls and eternally liberated souls are in Maya.
Yes, Maharaj.
This is a different effect.
Yeah.
The Mahamaya prohibits us to understand reality. And the spiritual world, Yoga-māyā, prohibits us to see Krishna as God.
God.
That is the difference.
Difference. Yes. Thank you, Maharaj. इधर बाद में आखिरी How Krishna's energies are working wonderfully. Krishna's energy is working wonderfully, and how it's difficult to understand without the mercy of Krishna and Guru. By their mercy we can understand such topics and speak also about these topics. So that was the...
So what we were saying about as devotees, we're not trying to achieve the material world, so everything's based on achievement, right? Schooling and all. Could you speak a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So since our childhood, like we were in childhood, our parents used to tell us, what you will become? Teacher, engineer, lawyer, scientist, this and that. And they were imbibing the values that you can achieve this. You can achieve all this by working hard. And why you have to go to temple? When you're struggling in this achievement, just go there, ring the bell, offer one small donation and expect nice results. But they never taught that child in childhood that you should become a devotee of Krishna. That's the ultimate goal. So our ultimate goal is not clear. How can we work properly? That's why Sambandha Gyan is so much important, and that's the duty as a master, as a caretaker, that we should establish this Sambandha, that we are servant of Krishna, and the whole purpose of human life is to realize that we are servant of Krishna. But opposite is happening in the parenting, very opposite is happening in the education. Everything is taught to make you forget Krishna, doubt on the scriptures, just like this movie which is released now, Mahavatar Narasimha, very nice movie based on Bhagavatam. But each and every newspaper is mentioning this word, mythological movie. Proudly they're mentioning mythological movie. And when Spider-Man, Superman comes, oh, superhero. These are the real heroes, the real savior, and they are calling them mythology. And this bogus Spider-Man, Superman, or whatever man they are calling them superheroes. So this is how also they are misguiding. And that's why we need to be very careful, and that's why when we come to spiritual practice, it's a revolution in our mindset. It's not easy. That's why this new Bhakta program is all about washing this misunderstanding, this misconception, by again and again engaging ourselves in services, doing more menial services, so that it gets fixed that I'm meant to serve Krishna, not to lord it over. If you're not trained properly, then when we are given greater service or better service, then we'll commit blunder. That's why this training is so much important, because we are trained, most of our learning days, we are trained very wrongly. That's why from 5 years of age, we should educate the child properly so that he understands the goal of life. That's what I can say.
As Kali Yuga progresses and the leaders don't have any leadership qualities, they're like little Venas, they basically are voted into power, and so without that kind of a guidance, it seems like everyone is really suffering in the material world, but when the alternative is given to them that by taking shelter of Krishna or God, you can relieve the anxiety, why people don't take that message from Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita? I mean, people are suffering so much in this world, but I guess it must be laden with atheism or something, right? People don't really believe in God.
They are like still stuck with the concept that if they struggle hard, this is a philosophy now, you have to work hard to gain something. No gain without pain. But in spiritual life, it's not about pain, because everything in spiritual activities, devotional activities, is providing you ananda, depending on your consciousness. So they still think that by struggling, they can achieve what they are trying to achieve. They don't need God. Śrīla Prabhupada gives the analogy that these Russians, the communists, they used to go outside the church and distribute bread to the people who were going inside the church and praying for bread. And they used to say, oh, we are providing you bread. Why do you need to go inside church? Oh, yes, you are my savior, you communist leader, you can save me, we don't need God. So that's why, as you mentioned, Prabhuji, atheism is the main reason that people are not endeavoring to take shelter, they're endeavoring, or we can say struggling, to exist independent of God. And that's why they're suffering also. Samsara dava, nalali daloka. It's a forest fire, right? And we all know, just like in US, the forest fire is so intense, the intensity is so huge that we can understand. But by taking shelter of the process, it can be mitigated. But some are unfortunate. That's why we as preachers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we are supposed to give everybody the chance to practice bhakti by exposing their ears to the chant of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Some will get benefit after some time, some in this life, some in next life, to propagate the mission.
But everyone in this world is a criminal because we forgot Krishna somehow or other. We forgot. We wanted to forget Krishna, so we're sent to the material world to see if we can do it on our own. So we're trying on our own to find that happiness without Krishna. But still we're being told that if you touch the fire, it'll burn, it'll be very painful. And we see that people who touch the fire, they get burned and they suffer, but still we touch the fire. So why can't we control the mind and senses when we see so obviously the sufferings in this world and follow all the rules and regulations carefully? Because so many rules and regulations, right?
Not so many. Very few. Very few, just like in New Bhaktas when we were practicing this process, 4 regulatory principles. It's a struggle, right? When you're traveling outside, it's a more struggle. But when you dance in the kirtan, and when you chant the holy name, you don't remember, oh, I have to follow the 4 regulatory principles, oh, I have to chant. You're in ecstasy because the surrounding is enthusiastic. So there are not so many principles. If it depends on the attitude, and they're not ready to receive this message.
I say kirtaniya sadhā, when the kirtan stops, the mind starts thinking about these things.
Taking over. Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
When Prabhupada was in LA and in Los Angeles, we had a community of devotees living around. So the neighbors, they see the devotees, they so happy and so many comments. So they will ask Prabhupada, asking the devotees for those neighbors to come to the mandir and join us, but they will not come. So that is their misfortune. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, you cannot force anyone to take up Krishna consciousness. It will be a certain time that they will realize that they're actually suffering. In America, there's some cities, the city of tents. So the government, they will housing projects. They put, but something they'll go back to be homeless again. Why? Because they prefer to suffer like that. They don't understand suffering can be ended by taking up Krishna consciousness. So what we can do is we just keep trying to give them Krishna consciousness.
Yes.
Prabhupada says, our program is only proposal. You take it or you leave it. You take it, you get benefited. You don't take it, that's fine. That is your misfortune. And there's one lady during the early days of Prabhupada preaching in Dr. Mishra's yoga center, yoga classes. So the elderly lady asked Prabhupada, why did you come late? Because he was thinking that, oh, I should have taken this earlier. Prabhupada says, I came late because you are late. So that means there's only a certain time when the jivas will pick up Krishna consciousness. They will realize it. And in the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, there is a statement there that ultimately all the conditioned souls will go back home back to Godhead. It's just a matter of time. But it is our duty to go on and distribute books, chant Hare Krishna, and distribute prasadam.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. That's a Brahmana Brahmate Kone Bhagyavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasad by Bhakti Lata Beach. So after wandering throughout the universe, one is very fortunate to receive Guru Krishna Kripa, Bhakti Lata Beach. And after receiving that, still sometimes as a practitioner we doubt. So much trouble, so much getting up early in the morning, every day, no off on Sundays also, to come for the Mangalarti every day. So that's why it's our misfortune that we have got the Aushadhi, but we are not attracted to that. But by practice, we will be overcoming this disease of doubting, and our misfortune will be gone forever. And then we'll be fixed in our constitutional position as servant, and then it will be ananda. No more burden of a duty. It will be more of a stage of ecstasy. But it will take time. How much time? That also we cannot control. 30 years, still struggling. Okay, might take 30 years. But why you want to control? That depend on Krishna and keep doing our duty, which is practicing Hare Krishna consciousness.
In the history, you saw Kamsa stopped the religious principles and wouldn't let the Brahmanas perform yagyas. That also took place when King Vena was there, and they were trying to advise him, the sages, that you need to encourage these yagyas for sacrifice to please the demigods and Krishna ultimately. And people, they think that they're the supreme controller, and so obviously the saints and Brahmanas killed Vena for being so offensive to the devotees. And Prabhupada mentions that we're fortunate right now that the government is not restricting us to chant the holy name and perform yajna distribution. In many places it is forbidden. You know, like you said, in some communist countries, other places where the government is very oppressive. So, and how rare it is to have a society and also all the books available in a systematic, scientific way where you can actually come, be part of some international society for Krishna consciousness and participate in spreading Lord Chaitanya's mission. It's such a rare opportunity. They may all go back to God, Maharaj, but you're talking billions and trillions of, not in a lifetime, but you know, every day of Brahma there's a destruction and they have to redo it again, and every time Brahma wakes up, then there's a complete dissolution, and Lord Mahavishnu wraps everything up into himself, and then again expands and creates the whole creation, all the demigods and all living entities, so you're just wandering from higher planets, lower planets, from this universe to that universe, and there's no hope of getting out, really. So our only real shelter is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy and Prabhupada's mercy for providing us an opportunity for Krishna consciousness.
Yeah. So we can realize our fortune when we were going through the COVID period, where everything was blocked, everybody was outside. So don't wait for another COVID period to make you realize that you are so fortunate that you can have darshan of the deities, beautiful deities. You can do some service in the temple, and you can chant Hare Krishna along with the beautiful devotees. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Samasta Bhakta Vrinda ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande.